Hello friends, this is Amol Khedkar. Today we'll be discussing about the topic that you see on your screen, that is when will coronavirus restrictions end in Canada. If you are planning to immigrate to Canada pretty soon, this is a topic of interest to you because definitely this is going to decide when exactly you will be able to come to Canada. Before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel as I upload uh, videos daily and so that you will not miss any of my updates, and also hit the bell icon. So let's dive into it. COVID 19 was declared a pandemic by the WHO on March 11th, and all the Canadian provinces and territories have declared states of emergency right now, and they are effective even now. Okay, Canadians, for most part, have adopted to this new normal, but there are many instances of unemployment or reduced work hours. Okay, Canadian economy is suffering its worst downturn in decades. Just understand this, okay? So it is not been since almost I would say 2008 crisis or the 9/11 crisis that Canadian economy has gone literally such low levels. Okay, so this is even severe than the 2008 crisis, and many people are comparing this to the Great Depression of 1929. So and the statistics really point in that exact same direction. So please make a wise decision. There is no easy answer. So the thing is, now they're asking when will this end. There is no easy answer to this question. Despite mathematical projections and expert opinions, the reality is we just don't know. Okay, nobody knows, to be honest with you. But the fact of the matter is that my understanding of how much severity this pandemic has caused and the states of emergency that are declared throughout Canada. Okay, I don't recommend anybody coming to Canada, at least in 2020. Okay, because this is something that is really definitely going to hamper the prospects of employment, house hunting, starting a new life over here. It's not that easy. Okay, whether you're a student, whether you are a work visa holder, whether you are a permanent resident holder, please don't come to Canada in 2020. So there are surveillance signals. Cases now topped more than 2 million, as you might be seeing in most of the parts of the world. And this is the Gardiner Express Highway in Toronto, which is almost empty as the sun rises, as you can see on your screen. Necessary conditions, a decrease in the new cases will not be enough. That's what they're saying. Okay, so even if the cases decrease, it's just not enough until a vaccine comes along. Okay, when is the vaccine coming along? 12 to 18 months. Public health decision making. This is an evolving situation. Public health officials are making decisions using the best available evidence about this novel virus and adjusting their strategies as new evidence becomes available. Okay, so nobody knows how long this is going to go on. Okay, this is a very unique crisis where there is no timeline. Absolutely nobody can predict what is going to happen. So people are just trying to shoot in the dark and make some assumptions, and then make some predictions on the basis of the assumptions that they have made. So decisions about when to start reopening society are multifaceted. They should prioritize the health of Canadians while at the same time minimizing the economic and societal impacts of these necessary public health measures. Okay, so because of geographic variations in the timing of the pandemic, we can expect that different provinces or countries will reopen at different times. Okay, just understand this. So the way forward, so when will the pandemic end? Okay, so the true end of the pandemic will most likely not happen until a vaccine is developed, a scenario that is still at least 12 to 18 months away, or herd immunity is achieved. Okay, until then it depends on our collective efforts to physically distance ourselves combined with enhanced testing and contact tracing to slow the spread. So to be honest, what I've heard so far, 80 to 90% of the people that get this virus have very mild symptoms. So they will, I mean, the herd immunity strategy was something that was propagated in the UK recently, and that's what they're saying over here, that we will have to wait until the vaccine comes along, or until we all just get immune to it. So to be honest, there is so much unemployment right now in Canada. So if people come from outside, definitely they are going to face a very hard time to get settled in Canada. So I really don't recommend coming to Canada, at least in 2020. Okay, you can think about it in 2021. But again, I have been in Canada for almost 2 years now. All I can say is that Canada is in desperate need of immigrants. Why is that? Because they have an aging population here. They have a low birth rate, low death rate. Okay, the weather is just extremely harsh over here. People don't understand how harsh it is to live in Canada. Okay, 8 to 9 months of winter. Okay, and summer is just around 2 to 3 months, which is you can't even call it as summer, because the highest temperature that goes in summer is almost like 15 degrees, which is almost winter in places like India. Okay, so Canada is a country which is in perpetual winter. That's just my honest opinion. And the weather aspect, people really overlook that. There are other cultural aspects that you really need to understand. So and the job market. Okay, job market is also a very important thing. There are not that many jobs in Canada. You really have to take this in mind before you start planning to come to Canada. Okay, and there are two scenarios that can happen after this pandemic. Okay, I'll just go through both of them. One of them might be that because immigration is suspended for so long time, so that will benefit the new people that come along, and there will be more jobs available, and Canada will increase the immigration rate that they are like right now they are saying that in 2020, 2021, and 2022 they really want to have like almost more than 300,000 immigrants per year, permanent residents per year. Okay, which is not just an insane number, but to be very honest with you, Canadian infrastructure or Canadian cities are not equipped to handle such a large flow of immigrants coming from outside. Okay, right now just look at the housing prices in Toronto, Montreal, or Vancouver. They are just not what they are just crazy, to be honest with you, because they are having 10% increase year on year basis. Okay, rents are doubling in almost 2 to 3 years. This is not sustainable. Okay, this cannot go on for too long. This just has to stop one day, and the bubble is just growing and growing, and it is just going to burst one day. That's just my honest opinion. Okay, and that's why that is one possibility, that the immigration rate will slow down, so Canada will just increase the number of immigrants that is allows into the country in 2021 and 2022. That is one scenario. But to be honest, I think the second scenario is more likely. Second scenario just says that right now the unemployment numbers are so drastic in Canada that they are not able to take care of their own people, so they are definitely going to cut down on immigration in 2021 and 2022. Because I mean, the people who are right now in Canada, okay, more than 1 million people, or almost like more 1 million people in Canada are not working. And now Canada's population is almost like 35 million, and half of the people is the workforce in Canada. So almost 17 million people work in Canada. Okay, so based on that, you can understand that out of 17 million people, 1 million are registered unemployed at this point. But that number is just for the people who have registered. There are many people who are in the gig economy. Okay, who work at jobs that are low paid, that are contractual. Okay, and that are self-employed. So those people are not even counted into this. So to be honest, the actual unemployment rate is almost 2 to 3 times of what exactly is reported. Okay, so there are almost like, I think, around 4 to 5 million people who are unemployed at this point in Canada, and the entire workforce is around 17 million people, because the rest half are either children, or they are like old age people, so they are not in the working age population. So almost one third of Canadian workforce is unemployed at this point. And the Canadian government's priority is going to be employing these people once they are out of this pandemic, which is going to take almost 12 to 18 months. Okay, so even the most optimistic estimates are saying that it is going to take almost 12 to 18 months. So to be honest, I definitely don't see the situation getting better anytime before the start of next year. So that's my opinion, because the thing is that Canada is facing problems on multiple fronts right now. Okay, you must have known oil prices have gone negative at this point. Okay, uh, energy sector is a very um, big thing in Canada because there are almost every other province except Ontario and Quebec depends on energy. Okay, I've made an earlier video on this as well to explain what exactly that means. But if you look at Alberta, if you look at British Columbia, then Saskatchewan, Manitoba, then most of the Atlantic provinces, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, Newfoundland and Labrador. Then you have the territories, which is like Yukon, Nunavut, and Northwest Territories. All of them are heavily energy dependent. Okay, so with the oil prices are literally in negative at this point. People are paying the buyers to take their oil. Okay, the seller is paying the buyer to take the oil off of his back. Okay, that's what the situation is right now. So surely this is not the right time to come to Canada. I'll not mince my words. I will not sugarcoat it. This is really not the good time to come to Canada. And if you look at the other two provinces, which are like Ontario and Quebec, uh, Quebec is definitely very French dominated. So surely you need to learn French if you need to live in Quebec. Even places like Montreal are they are French dominated. You can get by with English, okay, but if you want to live there permanently, you definitely need to learn French. Okay, that's just how it goes. Now, if you look at Ontario, Toronto is definitely having a real estate bubble. I mean, I've seen people who come to work for almost 2 hours one way daily traffic, one way daily commute, and 2 hours to go back. Okay, so it is almost impossible for anybody to buy a house in Greater Toronto area at this point. People are living so far away that they are literally commuting every day for like 4 to 5 hours every day. Okay, by the GO train. So that's what Toronto looks like. And there is Ottawa. Ottawa mostly has the government jobs, so not much to do over there. And to be honest, there is not much anything else in Ontario. Okay, Ontario is the main province. 40% of Canada's population lives in Ontario. But the fact of the matter is that there are very few places that are very heavily populated, and nobody lives in the northern part of Ontario because again, climate is just not suitable for many people in this part of the world. So please make a wise decision. And my honest opinion is that, and I have lived in America for almost 8 years. I'm in Canada now for almost 2 years. My honest opinion is that if you ask me, and if I was in your situation, I would not come to Canada at least in 2020. So I hope to learn something about the country of Canada in this. And let me know your opinions in the comments. Please like the video if you liked what I said. And if you agree with me or disagree with me, let me know in the comments, and we can have a decent discussion about many topics. And do subscribe to my channel because I have I'm putting significant effort into making these videos. So once I get a proper kind of feedback from you guys, I'll be able to share my opinions on many more topics in Canada or in other parts of the world. So if you're in India right now, which what exactly do you have to take from India, or how exactly is Canada different in India? I will discuss all these topics. So please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments so that we can take this forward. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.